I don't know if it's in the rules or whatever, but it could be based on like what that fuck ass bear said. It could be two killers. Because if both of them are killed, then both two people would be blackened. Because what made me think that was Byakuya could have killed Taka. Because the only other person that was up with him when I found it was Toko, but she passed out because of the blood. And then, you know, he's switching back and forth between the other self. And she'd be easy enough to manipulate for him anyway, because she likes him. So like, because we came from the third floor down to the office where we're seeing Hifumi dead. And then we had, so if we came from the third floor directly to there, then the killer would have had to pass us to get up to kill Taka, assuming Taka died after. Which shouldn't be possible. See, I don't know if you can. See, I don't know if you can have two people in the trial at once. Or not, because as long as it's saying that you can't, the two people can't be blackened. Anyone who kills Phil Sheen becomes black and they'll graduate unless they're scuppered. It says that guilty party. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, the guilty party may only kill a maximum of 2 people during any single killing game. But that's the guilty party, not guilty parties. So technically there could be 2 people. You know, evidence so far was Dolly was seen in the room that Taka was found dead in, and it's in here now, and there's blood on the wheel. And one of the hammers was recently washed. I'm guessing so. There's 3 people watching. I have no idea. Unless people comment on it. You start typing in chat. Why not? You don't want to interact with me? That's true. His glasses were. Or they cleaned them. But see, I don't know if you were there for it or not, but whenever like he was found, he was like he did, you know, and then he fell back and just properly died.
So, But...
Yeah, this place was locked whenever I first came here.
So then.
Sure. Yeah, so Hina, Kyoko, Sakura, and myself were there this morning. Up to 8 o'clock. Celeste was attacking an hour before we found her. So just after 7. Yeah, we found him in the second floor, took him to the nurse office in the first. On the last things we went to the second, and then after her scream, then we went to the third. She has something to do with us, because there's no, you know, she led us up to the second, you know, once he was grand, and we got him into the nurse's office, she led us up to the second, and then up to the third. It was only when we were in the third if we got attacked again. Because the thing is, Monokuma did say we need to find the main, like, guilty party or whatever. You know, there probably is 2 people working on it, but you need to get the person who did the killing. So, like, the main culprit. But Celeste couldn't have done the killing. At least. Like, we know who is safe. Like, Sakura, Hina, ourselves, Celeste. We know those 5 didn't kill anyone. They can't have. The others have alibis a bit. Yeah, because... what do you call him? Hiro's just MIA. Like, if it means that, like, one of his last words was saying, like, yeah, but it doesn't say Taka's dead either. I'm guessing that just doesn't happen until, like, you get the chapter done. Because, like, Toku and Byakuya were together the whole time. But Toku had been passed out at stages. And she's schizo. So it's hard to say. We don't know where the fuck she's at either. But I don't think it's her. I feel like she has like I feel like she's got like a bigger role. Like I feel like she's like maybe not the spy, since she was kind of like leading everything when it came to like the AI. I think Celeste could be the spy, and that's why she was kind of leading everyone around for the killer to get. Yeah. Here's the thing as well, like they do get more about more complex as they're going on through these cases. Like I'm just fucking invested in the figuring this shit out. Like it takes a little bit of yapping to get up to them, but like that shit is fucking good. Like, and there's fucking 2 more games of this.
However,
You can talk to her anytime to look back at everything. What's God's right here have to say?
So in other words,
I already do.
what? What? I see.
You see, that's the thing as well. Killing 2 people doesn't make sense, like you just said there, because if you kill 2 people, one, that leads to like more chances for evidence, more chance to get found out. But it leads it to there's less suspects, less possible suspects, which means like your chances of getting found out are fucking just increased based on the number of people that are there, just a sheer probability.
Goodbye.
Like out of sheer probability, because a lot of people have alibis, and then so if you happen to be one of the unaccounted people, if you kill another unaccounted, fucking chances here. So I never expected them to. His glasses are clean, and he's on the tarp the whole time. Actually, hold on a second. So you know how whenever he interacted with AI, he kind of had like a split personality going on? And his split personality, he had white hair, his black hair there again. And before the split personality, he's kind of losing the will to live. Maybe he wanted to die there, and that's why there's 2. Don't think so, because he died to a blow to the head, so you couldn't do that to yourself, like. With a hammer, like, it's not really possible, like, just your body won't let you do that, like. The door here can only block from inside. See, see, what I'm thinking there is, it could only be locked from the inside, and they said there's no way someone could have beaten them there. Because those two were there. Okay, hear me out. If me got it. Reason being, he's familiar with the art stuff. He was the first person he's seen in that room initially when the floor got unlocked. You know, he's into his, 2D and all that there. Yeah. So having the hammers done up like this, possible. The room was locked from the inside. But they could, there's no way, they would have seen someone. Though we know the two of them were beefing anyway. And his glasses were clean. Why would they clean his glasses? The only reason you need to clean the glasses is if you need to see. We always seen. Yeah, see, we always seen him. That was only like, Celeste like account for us. So it was. So, we never actually seen anyone in any kind of, we never seen anyone in any outfit. That was all just like hearsay at the minute. And he's supposedly dead and then woke up to say hero. So if he killed Taka, brought himself down there, had cleaned his glasses, he used the dolly because he's a fat ass and he couldn't carry him, and he woke up and said his last word is hero, dependent on hero. I am like, yeah, so that's the thing, what if he's still pretending to be dead? But then again, there was the two death announcements, those two separate death announcements. Man, fucking, I'm trying to connect the dots, but there's just some things here that's not quite connecting. But I'm cooking like I'm getting I am literally Charlie, that image of Charlie. Are you listening with audio on anyway? It's just like game music. Well, let me put on. I wonder. Go and turn it off a second because I want to see if my voice coming through. This is. Oh, it's gone. Yeah, like literally that image. Wait, hold on. Yeah, if the dolly was used to move Taka, but it couldn't be used to move Hifumi because he was 2 floors down, so you couldn't get him up the 3rd floor with a dolly. And he's too fat for anyone to lift him because... Oh, hold on a second. No, just hear me out. Like, yeah, that's being mean, like, but he's at 342 pounds, 155 kg, nobody's lifting him. The only person that could remotely lift him would probably be Sayaka, or Sakura. That would be the only person that would have any chance at lifting him. Because the only other person that could have a chance is fucking dead. Scrawny ass, they're all scrawny as shit. Maybe hero. maybe, but even then it'd still be tough. Because, like, he's over double his weight. You know, you should be able to lift double your weight, but he's over double his weight by a wee bit, like, so it would be a challenge to get him up there. Because, you know, it's up 2 flights of stairs as well. You know, because, like, you know, she ain't doing it, you know, the only one that could do it to get him up there would be Sakura. Or I'm saying it's him. I'm saying he did it himself. He killed Taka and he's actually not dead. I am literally like, I can't see it. There's too much evidence pointing towards he's the one that did it.
What?
Actually, hold on. Let me just had to. I got ready. I just turned chat off, so like it won't pop up on screen if anyone came in to like want to spoil it. Just it wouldn't pop up on the screen for me. You would get some dickhead that would like. Yeah, no, some people keep popping in there. Like, you know, maybe just 3. It's not me. I don't have nothing going on. I think there's too much evidence that's pointing to it being him at the minute. Because, you know, there's the tarp that was on him and the dolly used to move him. His glasses were bloody at first, but then they were clean when he was in the thingy. The door can only lock from the inside. Yeah, they're both found in that room then. No, because he was found downstairs dead, so he was. I did air quotes there. He was found downstairs dead, so he was. And then they went up and then they found Taka then. But whenever they went back down to the nurse's office, he was gone. And then they went back up to Taka then to check on Toko, because she was unconscious, and she was gone, and then Taka was gone. So during that time, he could have went in.
Let's see. Yes, indeed.
Actually, I'm changing it back. It's Celeste. Hear me out. Okay, we're flip-flopping, but here, I've reason to suspect this, because remember I mentioned how she was like, you know, make my tea, fat ass. You know, she kind of had a hold over him. She could have killed Taka up on the 3rd, because she was the only one on the 3rd floor and she screamed. And, you know, that was able to get, you know, everyone moving around. You know, got him in here, and then, you know, he did his scream and then, you know, died, but he didn't really. So she could have went upstairs to the 3rd floor, killed Taka, come out. Then whenever she got everyone about the place, if Mimi went up and moved him, and he's playing dead then. And then they pinned the blame on Hero. But then he wouldn't. Yeah, but he's also a dumbass. I don't know. Wait, hold on, what'd she say there?
Indeed.
Because she said that, you know, she seen her foot may get taken after she got, you know, beat up or whatever. But why would the killer give up on just killing her? You know, if you're gonna do it, do it. But that's just while, you know, they attacked her before going. They attacked her before going after Hifumi, because we don't know how long Taka was dead. But assuming he died last. So why would they not finish the job? Why would they attack someone and then just leave him? You know, because she had apparently been knocked out as well, according to her. So if she was knocked out, why not just finish it? Wait, I'm fucking right. Look, because I just kind of didn't read that. Refrigerator, 100% on the drink inside. You know, blah blah blah. There's a bunch of blood packets in here. That's why Hifumi has the blood on his head, but he's not. I'm fucking calling it. A glass is cleaning cloth, and it has the fucking anime girl on it. Fucking
Oh.
fucking calm this shit.
Huh?
Get the fuck out. I'm too into this. I am actually too into this.
It's all clear now. Goodbye.
The damn thing. What are you gonna think here? Yeah, blueprints for Robo Justice, but we got the note from him last night, and he said, you know, he wrote all the notes for everyone together for the dining hall. He's very good handwriting. That's like, I do it. That's actually nicer than my handwriting. It wouldn't be hard. Mine is literally like the Minecraft enchanted language. That's not his handwriting either. Your mic's back on, by the way. I think so. Yeah.
Just a second. Okay.
I mean... Huh? Oh, hey, Huh?
Very nice.
Right.
Don't be mean!
Yeah. This dumbass doesn't even know who's on it.
What? Wow. It's nothing. Hey.
Yeah, so they made it up about him. Yeah, so the two of them know it's those two. So let's kill Taka. Case closed. If they removed him. They put him in here. Where they sleeping. To frame it on him. And both of them said him. You know, Celeste said it was like in this here suit. And for me said it was just flat out said it was him.
I mean... Huh? Let me out of here! Got it all wrong!
It would seem...
I think Celeste killed Taka because if we look at the Monica file, you know, it's saying that, you know, these two were killed or whatever. But there's no time of death. And I was saying, you know, Hifimi's dead. And Hifimi could be dead now. Actually. Yeah. Because, you know, Hifimi didn't move him. Hifimi did move Taka there. But he then was killed then with the hammer, and then she cleaned the hammer. The hammer was found in it, spotless, recently washed. He wouldn't need to wash the hammer. Yeah, it's Celeste. I don't see it being anyone else. It can't be. Yeah, you had, you know, you seen like the locks where he was kind of locked into that suit. You can do that on your own. You can't unlock it on your own, you can't lock it on your own.
So then... Honestly... Is that okay? Could it be... That's terrible! Just the worst. What?
Yeah, he's too stupid to do something this elaborate.
Right. What the heck?
Please!
What are you saying?
Like, I thought he said he was really stuffed into the, like, locker.
Okay. Huh. See? Look. See how... I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm
I'm telling you, it wasn't me!
And you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like...
That's not a very nice thing to say. I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
Well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hero could have fit into this dumb costume. Ah. Just a second.
Hold on. Doing the homework. 6 foot, 5'7", 5'3", 5'3", yeah. I mean, 5'7", is pretty much 6 foot. High pollution.
Honestly.
What the heck?
Just the worst. That's terrible.
What?
It's all coming together.
Oh. Then perhaps...
See, the last one was so good, like, see, the last one was very subtle in how, like, you knew it happened because it was literally just a slip of the tongue. That was all that got him caught. Well, all the things after, I just flat out fucking saw him.
Just the worst.
What? Huh? How about that?
So then...
I'm at least 30% right!
Correct.
Wait!
What the heck?
Yeah, let's meet in the rec room.
Hey.
Just the worst. So... Huh?
Don't be mean!
Just a second.
No. Wait!
What the heck? Just the worst.
Wait!
What are you saying?
What?
You don't need to kill 2 people because it lowers your chances. Who's someone that doesn't really care about the chances. But the ultimate gamble. I beat you!
Makoto. It would seem...
Why is that? Anyway, shall we go? Hey. Correct. Hey. Anyway.
They're in their concert. We're gonna go up and they're not gonna be there. That's not bad. Some shit like that.
So then, I knew it. I see. Hey. Whew. So then... That's right. In other words,
Happened at 6 this morning. There's no times that were given. The last whole accord happened at 7.
however,
It's her!
Makoto, because
What was this first?
hey,
Piece of paper.
is that right? So then,
You didn't have to move from up there, you moved to the cell phone here. Killer has no reason to wipe his glasses clean.
indeed. That's right. Indeed. Why is that? Hey,
Yeah, it's the note the hero was on about. What the note hero was on about said to meet in the rec room at 1 AM. This one says 6 and says in the equipment room. Taka only had the corner piece of it, so if anyone must have grabbed it, Taka was holding on to it. Then he got whacked, tore off, and it was held in his hand the whole time.
so... However,
I'm telling you, it's hilarious, man. I got this shit, like it has to be.
is that right? So...
Like I would say for me, if he was,
Hey,
not dead.
so then... Hey, is that right?
E-handbook may play a role. I don't know what the fuck that would be though.
Are you excited? Are you like the bright burst of fire? And so, everyone, please make your way to the...
It would seem... Shall we go?
Imagine if you just immediately just hit them with the fucking you did it. If you get it right, you get it right.
Monokuma, appear! Wrong.
Whew.
Boy,
stop talking.
Okay. Hey! Hey!
Let's go.
Please!
What the heck?
What the heck?
Yeah, like
Hey.
I know Hina's pushing it, but like that's because she just genuinely believes it was him because evidence points to him. But like Celeste is too happy about it.
That's
She's
right.
like, did you get? She's like, did you get any counter evidence? No. Well, well, we have our hope. You know. See, because the last one, the evidence did point to it being Byakuya. But it was a slip of it. It was just because he was a dickhead that interfered with it. Probably would still be Mondo because he was found out because Kyoko noticed his slip of the tongue. He slipped up, calling Chihiro dude. Which is something I found out because he died.
Just the one.
This is a bit different looking.
What?
Come on.
Yoo-hoo!
Hit skills. Increase the aim speed. Focus gauge decreases more slowly during concentration. Fever time effective during not up to aim. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, plenty. Makes sense, that's a good one. That's the one you have for doing.
Let's begin with a
Kyoko.
basic explanation of the class trial. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one,
I'm saying who done it is just in my head. Like I'm gonna be quoting that all day tomorrow.
then I'll punish
all they do
everyone
anyway.
besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will
It's the way it says it.
graduate.
Who done it?
Now then,
Oh,
I know
no.
who did it!
was that?
Yeah.
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it! You killed...
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know, I don't know, I don't know!
You can still have spare parts.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true, it's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all...
No, it's wrong.
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? when you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he is not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as well.
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
Say? Who?
I got it! Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first.
Hey, stop trying to...
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
I got it! I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
And wait, he just goes, what were they, Makoto?
So,
What do you mean that wasn't what was used?
Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room.
Oh no.
And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp. It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
Yeah.
In other words, you think
No, we
they
got
used the
it.
dolly to move the body. Am I right?
I think they'll have it. I think that what kind of ruins her plan is having Hiro, like, you know, put to sleep or whatever and in the suit. That's fine. But having him stuffed in the locker kind of fucks it up.
But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository?
She's raised an objection.
There is no shame in being wrong. No, we have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand.
After there. Reloading. Next ball time battle, we're gonna add more ingredients to the recipe. Bottom screen, there's a table with the stated ammo count. Until there has been no limit. How you destroy it. Okay.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
Bitch.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheels. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the...
There's that fucking dumbass.
And as the blood dried on the tire. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. What kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that...
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be there. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
I see what you're cooking, Mr. Bianca. The body was transported. It was on the dolly. The dolly doesn't have a handle. It's a low kind of dolly. They couldn't move at the waist in that area. You couldn't really bend over in that suit. How could you bend over to put the body on the dolly? Couldn't done it.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
No! You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that? What do you think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together? When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
it seems like it'd be awfully...
Well, what's to stop you?
When you can't even see your feet?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
I got it!
Can't take it off yourself.
I don't think taking off the suit was an option.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't...
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's...
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo-Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said? So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero.
Yeah, the fact that she's doubling down so hard on it.
Yeah.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did
This is like
it.
me going all in on like a Joker.
Before we rush to a verdict,
Actually,
shouldn't we
how
explore
did you even
every
get that fucking
single
car?
instead of seizing on one viewpoint? The truth is uncovered by analyzing things
Like
from
playing
every
poker, I have
angle.
like 2 Jokers and an Uno card. Where the fuck did I get those?
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then. I suppose we could 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Look, we waited there for quite a while. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we...
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume.
Yeah, she had this planned out because she asked for the camera.
As it turns out, it was Robo. It also soon became clear that this same rope... We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko. He was injured, so we took him to... But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
When Celeste told us that, and soon after...
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
But it's a big asset, it's hard to move them if they're really up there. And we all split up and searched around and nobody found anyone.
And then...
Like, I'm pretty, like, case is closed at this point, like.
At that point,
It's like-
we decided Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office.
I love it, like, this is all gonna be on YouTube, so, like, freaking they just go back and look at, like, wait, hold on, I think it's her, oh, we flip-flopping now.
While Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect.
I swear, if we are wrong, I'm fucking dumb. There's no there's no way I could be wrong on this.
When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi dead. And that's when we heard the body
Can't be.
discovery announcement.
It's pure delusion.
I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement.
And that's when I told you.
Wait, hold on a sec. I need to look at a bullet here. But it doesn't say, you know, they left the bathroom because one of them wasn't feeling well. Which one wasn't feeling well? Because I know, like, because I was like, you know, saying like, oh, it's social work, but then, you know, she told everyone she was lying about that. After I said, oh, need to go to the bathroom, not feeling well, because, you know, she had been attacked. It was to get her out of the way after everyone had split up, so Hifumi could leave. The case is already closed, like, I'm just further digging the grave. We're not stopping at 6 feet under here, we're going deeper, like.
Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. We rushed back to the nurse's.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room.
Yes, Celeste went and brought everyone from the equipment room back down.
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone. Next thing we knew, we were searching
Actually,
the school
Toko
for
was
2
there the
missing
whole time.
dead bodies. And
she was
after some
unconscious.
time,
Or she was not unconscious, what if she's sleeping?
Celeste informed us that she'd found the body.
Whenever she
We
initially
all
went
headed to the repository.
She gets knocked out by blood, so she does. But whenever that initially happened, and she swapped personalities, in the last case, she wasn't out for very long. Certainly not long enough in the few minutes that we went up and down.
Which is where we rediscover.
I think that about covers it.
I see. It certainly seems to me that
Okay, well...
rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the Now then, let's get started. So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
what makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Shoot! So,
regarding
Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed.
Yes, no.
Shoot!
Fuck!
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice...
No, it's wrong.
I was right in saying that one.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
His watch. What the fuck? Wristwatch.
Now I understand. I got it. See? Look.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night...
Case is closing, is it?
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last morning...
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us, and we made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Are we go?
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Then we all ran down to the... That's totally true! We're all in the clear!
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up!
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing. Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body, because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway. In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said, his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up...
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
I'd say that's improbable.
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
It's almost like I fucking called!
The dead body?
No! Not another... ghost!
I don't think it has anything to do. We thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply...
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was...
That it isn't possible.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
I know how the Broken West Wires comes on here.
shoot!
I don't have different
Are
bullets.
you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead.
I don't have any
without
more
a doubt.
bullets.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Shoot!
I don't fucking know.
Are you
What height
saying that when
was
we
this
first
last
found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Shoot!
This is literally just like a guessing game, just fucking throwing up hooks. I don't know how to, like, what? It's such a weird bullet to give you for that.
I refuse to give up yet.
Another bullet. So it would be like, yeah, it was fighting at the time. He was killed past 6, but we're not talking about when he was killed, we're talking about the announcement.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
I guess it's
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Shoot!
Okay, maybe that's the last one I need to grab the
Are you
truth from.
saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
Find out.
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Oh no, I said it.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Yeah, I didn't know you can't check him over.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy.
What do you say, Monokuma?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man.
No, actually, that was plenty. He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Which means, even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice. I got it! We heard it a second time in the... It didn't seem weird at the time.
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead.
And that's just part of... There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think...
Okay then, let's take another. Then it should become clear whether
This whole thing is pointless. Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
Oh, come on.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, there was no notable
Oh,
difference.
come on.
Shoot!
Okay, ready for the next one.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
That's wrong!
This is that line of dialogue came up second in the one thing, so I thought that...
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi and the nurse's office and the repository.
I'm gonna try in 2 seconds. Okay.
His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can. I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot.
Yeah, I think he's stupid. It was a good plan.
One look at the blood stain on the cloth should make things clear.
Good plan, plot execution.
This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right?
It comes on him and kinda her a little bit because of putting him into a locker.
Whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
Yeah, you could just put him in a classroom or something. Having the suit be locked on him kinda hurts him. You know, if you put him back in his room with the suit on, you know, if he was able to get out of the suit on its own, and he left the suit in his room, that's a bit more damning.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi. What I'm saying is, the blood on his...
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him.
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible.
But then, if he was just what was with all that blood?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious.
Sakura, the first person to die. Oh no, Sakura's not. No, no. That's. What's her name? I don't know.
I got it!
Sakura.
It could only have been...
What's her name somewhere?
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for so me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means, when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead. And when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to...
There's me.
Oh, absolutely. The single... You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto?
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note said.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go.
Okay, can I keep going on it, or? I mean, I'll keep the stream up, like if you want to keep watching.
In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else.
See. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro, and that person could only have been... I got it! That's right! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy! Just to be clear. Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time? Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
No, that's wrong! No! They're absolutely...
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, no further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. The culprit really...
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi stuffed down his pants, no less?
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Where's your proof?
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note...
Yup. They're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only...
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which...
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing... In fact, he was behind the whole thing! In fact, he's still alive!
Sorry. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed...
Whoever did is...
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished. But before we found both bodies in the
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus! Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi!
the weapon.
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously...
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours.
Hell yeah! It's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed, but if the hammers were already...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue. So which hammer was used?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too.
Is it not possible that...
I don't think it is possible.
So then... What was used to kill Hifumi?
Oh, sure.
Shoot! What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it? Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon...
had to be one of the Justice.
Nothing's wrong. The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris, but for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean. And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the justice hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not? Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Shoot!
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true.
Nothing's wrong. Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward, but
Risk versus reward.
the payoff for working together. The reward. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to. However, if there were some potential.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime, and based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person, and it only looked like one person, because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, by creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful! How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved.
That's problem numero uno, right?
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
So I'm the suspicious individual now. I really do.
A joke?
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit from brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Shoot! I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual, and the only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costume. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying Everything.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said? We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said? Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
It was to get us to divide into two groups.
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up. Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, and on top of that, that piercing cry of yours... That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead. Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our mind.
I don't believe.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah? I was feeling kind of. Wait!
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it. Looking back, I can say that I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body.
I remember her saying that too.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurses now. The entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble. If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any...
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die.
Just like those guys died.
Shoot! All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Shoot! All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those...
No, that's wrong. That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run, so there was never any chance.
So how did you know more than because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations.
Imagination.
You claim that I was lying. Then what about the... How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, so let's put the suit on. And then she used the cameras.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's
What could you possibly mean?
Surely there are other...
No, there is no other explanation.
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of... The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the rope. We've simply been led to believe that... And the strange costume might... If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation...
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
drape me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way! You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way! You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious... Shoot!
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight.
No, that's wrong. No. Even if the person, because that Robo-Justice suit had a...
That's right!
I'm not so sure that I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be...
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially That's how they were able to fake that whole... The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I...
Checkmate?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Celeste?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying? When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
In other words, Yasuhiro Hakakure!
Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense.
He did say Yasuhiro. But are we?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk. How did he refer to each of us?
I got it! That's right! Our last...
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name...
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. No. There's no reason to, but he must have run out of energy.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever...
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone.
Well, no. And that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is... Celestia Ludenberg! God damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me...
No, that's wrong. That's it. The handbook.
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before. So all we have to do is check her hand. That's how we can find out Celeste.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell her, please?
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me go over the case again, and that'll bring... killer is you! Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room. That someone they met with, the murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. They drugged him, knocked him... Next, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the... They did all this just to create... When they were done with him, they shoved him, still... And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder they called Taka to the equipment. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first... The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4. The reason Hammer number 4... So, for these attacks, the killer... The first fake incident there... The killers wanted us to see. They wanted to make sure we bought the second fake incident. This time, they planted with these two incidents that the suspect was increasing. We fell right into their trap. While we did that, this was exactly what... We took a blood packet from the room and turned the room into a crime scene. He let out a scream to draw us. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body, so when we heard the body discovery announcement, we left the nurses. He simply got when we learned his body had disappeared. And once again, he left Taka's body in a tarp. That explains how each of the bodies... But even Hifumi didn't know. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
I lost? When was the last time they hang heavy around?
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no, Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all... If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, will you make the right choice or the dreadfully...
Honestly.
I knew it. So then,
Indeed.
Say what?
Just a second. In other words,
Indeed.
I see.
Actually,
What?
are you okay with this? So
Damnation! Say what?
as for me,
Oh.
as for me,
What? Damnation! Say what? Leon?
most Actually,
What?
indeed. Honestly,
I swear!
actually,
Hmm?
I see.
indeed.
But
Let's see.
Well,
Are you okay?
so in the end,
What the heck?
Well,
don't be mean.
I wonder about that.
Why?
What the heck?
But
You little bitch! Hey! You little bitch!
This is fine. Honestly. As for me, isn't it wonderful? This is fine. There is nothing to be done.
Just the worst.
Oh. Do you understand?
What is this?
Yes, indeed. Isn't it wonderful?
hey,
Grills, champ! Now then, I've prepared a very... Let's give it a...
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What? Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why, actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
What are you gonna do?
Let me out of here!
Too bad. How strange. Hey! What?
So then, you...
Ooh,
Hey,
ooh, how exciting. Hello. Well, see?
so...
Hey,
Indeed. Hey,
What?
so...
Come on. What? Goodbye.
well then.
Yo!
Okay.
Shall we go? So then...
You really can. No.
You... However... What? Indeed. What? It's true. That's fine. Correct.
Why, you? I asked you a how this was.
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat. No, I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
But you haven't forgot what I'm...